The year on planet Earth is 1994, and a cool new game for boys on the playground just dropped. Donkey Kong Country, a game where you play as a stoic, muscular, buff, heroic ape named Donkey Kong. Or you can play as his sidekick Diddy, who's also really cool because he does like super fast cartwheels, he runs around super fast. He's just awesome. He's also a bit mischievous, alongside DK. Anyway, the boys on the playground, they loved this. I mean, these were two characters who they wanted to be strong and fast, the ultimate traits to solidify yourself as the top dog on the playground. It's safe to say that this game was a hit. It sold millions of copies, and the boys on the playground were so excited for Donkey Kong Country 2 to come out. However, when that game came out, they found out that Donkey Kong was actually kidnapped by King K. Rool and replaced with a girl? Yuck! Ew! Luckily though, the boys quickly found out that Dixie Kong was actually pretty cool. She liked stuff like bubblegum and the electric guitar, and she could twirl her hair like an awesome helicopter. And then also, the girls got to play this game now, and they got an awesome Donkey Kong character to adopt their personality to. It was really sick, it brought the whole playground together, and eventually the boys grew out of, finding girls to be yucky because they learned about awesome heroes like Amelia Earhart. Maybe they watched Night at the Museum too. Or maybe they learned about Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks, awesome leaders in the fight for racial equality. Things were all fine and dandy until Donkey Kong Country 3 came out, when there was a seemingly irredeemable hero that they forced onto the fanbase. You see, in this game, K. Rool adopts the personality of Baron K. Roolenstein, and he kidnaps Donkey and Diddy. This left the open spots for the two heroes of this game to be Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong, a new character who a lot of people didn't like, because Kiddy Kong was a baby. Literally, Kiddy Kong was a baby. He was just a stupid, round, fat baby Kong dressed up in a onesie and would do baby things, including crying and screaming. Now, not only are babies just annoying, but Kiddy Kong wasn't popular because, who the hell wants to play as a baby? Nonetheless, who wants to adopt the personality of a baby? Because no one wants to be a baby. He just wasn't cool and just wasn't a hero that people wanted to be. Wasn't a character that people could really respect because he was a baby. Why not just have him be Donkey Kong? Oftentimes, fans will cite Kiddy Kong as being ugly, gormless, sluggish, annoying, sexist, too big and violent, sickening, stupid, and most importantly of all, a baby. Generally, people don't like others who are considered babies because baby behavior is something that they should have grown out of a long time ago. Now, you might be asking, what is a baby? What makes someone a baby? Because while it is a common phrase and comparison that people throw around, I'm sure everyone has a different definition in their head. Now, I think Kiddy Kong is a pretty good example of what people often think a baby is, or at least what I think a baby is. When Kiddy Kong doesn't get his way, mainly dying, he throws a tantrum, he kicks his legs, and he screams, and he screams, and he cries, and it's really loud and obnoxious and seemingly unnecessary. Babies also tend to not really listen, pay attention, or think critically, which is something that Kiddy Kong does in the game. Kiddy Kong's primary, not even primary, his just straight up idle animation is, sitting, pulling on his socks, and staring off into the distance, maybe blowing a raspberry or two. Nothing's really going on through his head. And I bet when you're thinking of someone who's a baby, you're thinking of someone who's petty, cries a lot, complains about things that just don't matter. In my experience, places that harbor adult babies are a homeowners association group, or maybe the customer population at a service job. However, I'm not a professional in deciding who is a baby and who isn't. I don't study sociology. I think that's what those people do. Regardless, I wanted a second opinion, and thankfully my friends over at the World 8 Productions YouTube channel were more than happy to help me in talking about what makes someone a baby. Who is the biggest baby you've ever met?
You're looking at him.
Oh, well,
right next to me.
I guess we're doing this now.
Bro, all he does is cry. We play video games, he cries. When he play card games, we cry. But yeah, I'd say him.
I was astonished to find out that the biggest baby Isaac ever met was actually Tony. Tony, what do you act like a bitch about?
See, that's a really great question. Maybe I'm a stickler for the rules. Maybe I would say that. I'm trying to double check the process. I think I've had a fast one pulled over me one too many times, and so sometimes I have a tendency to double check things, and maybe he considers that whining, I guess.
If you could describe him in one word, what would it be?
Baby. No, that's someone else we know.
This baby you're talking about, who is it?
Once you look at him, you'll know. He knows them too.
Who would know better about what makes someone a baby than the biggest baby in the room? I was glued to my seat when Tony opened his mouth.
Yeah, I guess, sure. This helps get flack off my back. Yeah, they're probably the biggest baby we know. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the kind of person that's like, if he doesn't have his way, he'll like, because he does the oh, you hate me. So I guess you hate me.
Yeah, I guess it's like a good way to get your way is to berate your friends in a joking manner.
Manipulate.
To get you manipulative, yeah. Is that a baby mentality?
That is a baby mentality.
Wham, feed me. It's
you
like
to get something small.
yeah.
But it's jokingly, it's not serious.
Yeah, no, it's jokingly, it's not
jokingly,
serious. I would say the people that complain about Chicago deep dish are big babies because they're upset that their area that they live in doesn't have any like real culture to them, and they have to eat shitty ass pizza because most people don't understand that like Chicago deep dish is not like the preferred pizza of Chicagoans. It's not just like every night we're like, let's order a pizza and we get deep dish. It's like it's a specialty.
Did it originate from here?
I'm pretty sure. I don't fucking know. That's how much. That's how little I know.
I got another thing. He likes Nintendo. That's baby mentality.
You're holding a Munchlax plush.
It's not Nintendo. It's Game Freak.
You're. To be fair, Nintendo does only own 1/3 of Pokemon. There's a larger hand at stake with the Pokemon Company.
After getting some second opinions, I was more than confident to define what makes someone a baby. You see, a baby is someone who complains and throws tantrums, kicks and screams over trivial inconveniences. No one likes a baby. They're annoying. And when Donkey Kong Country 3 came out, a lot of the people were pissed. I mean, they didn't want to see a baby. They didn't want to hear a baby. They didn't want to play as a baby. And most importantly of all, they didn't want to like literally put themselves in the shoes of this character and adopt their personality of a baby. Because while that was something that was awesome to do with Donkey, Diddy, and Dixie, 3 badass heroes, no one wanted to be a baby. No one came out of Donkey Kong Country 3 being like, yeah, that character is so awesome, I'm going to adopt their personality, I'm going to be a baby now. And that's kind of why Donkey Kong Country 3 didn't have a super strong appeal, at least in my opinion. I didn't pick up that game for years, pretty much my entire life. I was introduced to the Donkey Kong franchise when I was like 5. I'm 22 now. I never played Donkey Kong Country 3 until like a year ago because I just kind of had this whole negative opinion about the game because you play as a baby. And I think I guess growing up, I was like, I don't want to be a baby. And obviously that changed as I got older. I didn't really care that Kiddy Kong was a baby. But Donkey Kong Country 3 always just kind of by association left this bad taste in my mouth just thinking about it. But again, I decided to play it last year. Kiddy Kong pissed me off sometimes. Thought he was kind of annoying, sluggish, gormless, what other people say. And I didn't like him. And then I died as him. I died by sliding into a Kremling on ice, and I don't know, but this time really did something to me because my reaction was ridiculous. I cursed at Kiddy Kong.
No, what the fuck? How did he fucking slip into that? God. Dude, what a dumb fucking baby. Jesus, I hate Kiddy Kong and I hate ice mechanics. What the fuck was that?
I cursed at a baby animal. I cursed at him because I didn't like him, because he was a baby. I didn't like the baby. I didn't want to see the baby. I didn't want to hear the baby. I didn't want to play as the baby. And I didn't want to be the baby. But as I watched him die, I couldn't help but see the ugly truth. I'm a big baby. I threw a fit because I couldn't think critically about the level I was on. I threw a fit because I didn't get my way. I threw a fit because I didn't like Kiddy Kong. I didn't like playing as him, but then I realized that everyone else who threw a fit about him too is also a big baby. Think about it. Everyone else who complained about Kiddy Kong, what are they actually complaining about? And even if you haven't gotten mad at Kiddy Kong, you're probably a baby too. When was the last time you threw a fit or a tantrum because you didn't get what you wanted? No matter how insignificant that thing was, or maybe because your ego was crushed a little, but it didn't really matter. I bet everyone watching this, that's happened to you in the past year, hasn't it? And I appreciate you for being honest, but if you're saying no, that didn't happen to me. I never get upset about things that don't matter. You're a liar, and lying just makes you even more of a big baby. But do you know who doesn't lie about being a baby? Kiddy Kong. If he never acknowledged the fact that he's a baby, if he never embraced that part of who he was, he wouldn't have been able to accomplish what he did. And what he did was what Donkey Kong, the legendary ape, did in Donkey Kong Country 1 and all the other games. Kiddy Kong did that despite being a baby because he embraced his baby qualities. He didn't hold back his tears or his rage, his tantrums. He embraced it. And that's what allowed him to keep pushing and to fight for something that mattered. Yes, he's a baby. Yes, his kicking and screaming and crying is annoying, and it's weird and kind of off-putting, but they're not over trivial matters. They're about things that actually matter. Real things. His family getting kidnapped, stopping K. Rool from taking over Canada. And this led me to realize that there are two types of babies. True babies and bad babies. True babies are people or just anyone who advocate and complain and whine and fight for things that matter. You know, well-being of others, safety. Those are true babies. Yeah, they can be off-putting, a little cringe, but they should be. Like a baby, like a real baby, it's crying and it's screaming on the airplane, and you want it to just shut up, but it's crying because it needs something. It needs milk to survive and to grow. That's what it needs these things for. And true babies do the same, figuratively and literally. People who give a shit about fucking equality, they're true babies. Yeah, they can be annoying sometimes. But yeah, they should be annoying. Keep crying. Hell yeah, do that. That's what Kiddy Kong would do. The bad babies, you know, they're just fucking petty, man. They just cry and complain about things that don't matter. When they cry and complain, they advocate for punishing other people, making them feel like shit, slowing them down, impeding on them. Those are bad babies. Those are people who cut in line, people who are passive-aggressive, road ragers, all that sort of stuff. Those are bad babies. And we can't just call all of these people babies, because when you do, you're lumping them together even though they're so different. You're equating Kiddy Kong to someone who's horrible despite the fact that he's a goddamn hero. As per Tony's example, bad babies are emotionally manipulative and they want to shame people for their culture. They want them to feel like shit about their deep dish pizza. Even though they know it's not the greatest, it's theirs. You shouldn't put them down for it. Who gives a fuck? You don't have to eat it. But Kiddy Kong, he wouldn't do that because he's a true baby. He embraces the fact that he's a baby, and he uses it for good. He uses it for taking down Baron K. Rulenstein and for saving his dear family members. He gets angry, he gets sad, he throws tantrums, but with all that rage, all that sadness, he builds it up, he learns from it, and on his next attempt he tries again, even stronger, and he tries again and again and again, and that's what lets him succeed. That's what lets him grow. I learned something important a couple months ago. I was on vacation with my friends Michael and Ryan, and we were at a hotel, and there was a pool and a hot tub, but it was closed. The staff thought it was too cold out, even though it was like 70 degrees, and they were kind of, they were acting like babies about it. At least what most people would say. Hey, they're being babies. They complained to the staff, they tried to break into the pool, they even started rumors of a riot, and while this might seem like something a bad baby would do, they weren't doing it to punish the people around them. They did it for a good reason. They wanted the pool to not only be open for everyone else, but having this pool and this hot tub closed off was closing off a potential memory, a core experience, something that would improve their well-being and just give them a fantastic vacation. They wanted this not only for themselves, but for everyone. And you're goddamn right they fought for it. They fought hard, and they won. The next day the pool was open. The staff didn't want to be there, it was still too cold for them, but it was open, and they got to actually use the hot tub.
So me and Ryan got off our 2-hour fucked up ass bus ride, but it was a lot. Like, you felt it, bro. You felt the 2 hours. So like, and we got to our shithole fucking in Monumental Movie Land.
It's a movie land.
First, we wanted to see our good friend Nathan, but as soon as the pool rumors started, yeah, we were kind of bitching the whole time about wanting to go.
How did you guys feel knowing that you couldn't get into the pool initially?
Depressed. I feel so
yeah,
sad.
like low-key, like the first day, like that's low-key all I wanted to do. So I was pretty miffed when we couldn't get in.
Dude,
but
we probably
that's also when Ryan started telling people, yo, riot at the pool tomorrow, 9 a.m. Yo, I heard there's a riot at the pool
forgot
tomorrow.
about that. The pool did reopen the next day.
Okay.
Well, this is what I thought. I think it was like what it changed about my life is I realized that you have to do things have to be shitty for things to turn out good after. You can't have good things without having shitty things. It's like for every reaction there's an equal and opposite reaction. Wait, every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know what I mean? Don't think about it, because first we had that fucked up bus ride. But before that, we got that amazing sunset view. We had to go through those hardships.
Yeah, we planted the seed and it grew.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, well, okay, for like 3 hours it was like, damn, it's too cold to go in there. Whoo, man, it's chilly. But once we got past the initial stage and instead we're like spreading the rumors about the pool riot, and the just like putting it up in the air, I feel like it was a lot less bitchy and more hopeful.
How would you guys respond to people who might accuse you of being babies for complaining so much about wanting to get into the pool? Like, there was that one family that walked by, and there was that dad who like kind of made a passing joke at you guys for talking about the riot. How would you respond to people who would accuse you of being babies?
Why do they care? Because obviously we have bigger problems than them.
Yeah,
to worry about. We got bigger things to worry about than this guy like complaining about us being a complainer, you know?
All being
It's-
goal-oriented.
It's an infinite loop because we complain, which makes them complain about us. So it's like they're you know, it's like putting fire on a fire.
But we're goal-oriented. Like we're not gonna all of a sudden lose sight of our goal because someone's questioning us. You know what I mean? It's always on the table until you die. That's what I say.
Because we're goal-oriented complaining.
Exactly.
We want something out of it, but they're just complaining to complain. They're just
exactly.
negativity.
Yeah.
So in a way, you guys are productive babies. You're true babies because real life babies, when they complain, it's for something they need, like milk or a blanket. Whereas the other people
yeah.
are just complaining and being babies to put you guys down. Those are bad babies.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. Like, most people that complain, like, you know, when you hear someone, like, complaining about their friend and they're like, all they do is complain, you know? But no one ever says what they complain about because they're not goal-oriented complaining.
Oh.
They don't want something.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, baby derogatory versus baby non-derogatory.
Yeah, sometimes, like, the baby needs milk and nourishment. It's not gonna shut up just because, like, you know, someone told it to.
And the person telling the baby to shut up for wanting milk, they're now a baby, but they're not goal-oriented.
No,
They
yeah,
just
they're
wanna shut
complaining about the
people down.
complaining. No, literally, they are. They're complaining that's exactly the same situation.
They're the bad baby.
Yeah, they're the bad babies. Do you guys think more people should be babies openly? True babies? Goal-oriented
I mean, I
babies?
feel like, yeah, let's say you're at like a shitty job orientation and like you're in like a group of 20 and all of a sudden everyone's like, no, this is stupid, like I don't care, tell us something important. Low key, like if you take away the like social buffer of like, you know, not being a bitch, then we'd probably be really a lot more productive as a society.
Yeah, it's just like speaking up for yourself.
Are you proud to be babies?
Productive babies, yes.
As long as I have my friend Ryan here to do it with me, then yes.
So,
So
sounds
you-
like I'm talking to two proud, true babies.
Yeah.
Being a true baby works, no matter how small or large that goal is for a true baby. When you embrace that shit, it works. It makes change. And there's a lot of pressure for us to not be true babies. Society and just other people expect us to keep our feelings to ourselves, to not let them out. Because when you do, yeah, it's annoying, a little irritating, because everyone has their own problems and they sometimes just don't want to hear about other people's problems. But when you bottle all that stuff up, it's going to come out, and it's going to come out in a way that you don't want it to. And that's going to make you a bad baby, because when it comes out, you're going to be yelling at someone on the road, you're going to be yelling at someone in line, and maybe you're not even yelling. Maybe you just even, like, have negative thoughts in your head, but then that's just ruining your day. It's just spreading awful stuff, and that makes you a bad baby. But we need to be more like Kiddy Kong. We need to use our baby energy for what matters to us. I don't know what people care about, but whatever it is, you shouldn't be ashamed about fighting for it. You shouldn't be ashamed about crying and screaming for it. And just like Kiddy Kong, when we embrace ourselves for being true babies and when we act that way, we'll surpass the circumstances that hold us back. Being a true baby can be scary, it can be polarizing, but everyone should do it. Because when you're a true baby, that's where life starts. That's where growth starts. That's where change starts. I know it might be hard to take me seriously right now because I'm in the whole baby get up, and it's even coming undone right now and I look like an idiot trying to fix it, but I don't care that I look like an idiot. I am who I am. I'm a big fucking baby.